This video is for Higher Graphic Communication Assignment 2023, the menu, salt and pepper holder. In this video, we are going to look at creating the base, which is shown in data sheet 3. When it comes to making the base, we can see that it is symmetrical, so it's both the similar on equal sides. So therefore we're going to create just half of it and then use mirror to save us time by duplicating it onto the opposite side. So the first thing we're going to do is start creating the first part of this top. So I'm going to go on to Inventor and I'm going to go to File, New, make sure that I've selected metric and then it's standard millimeter part. I'm then going to start a 2D sketch and I'm going to select the XZ plane. First thing I'm going to do is use the circle tool to draw a circle at 52. I am then going to finish the sketch and I'm going to extrude that by 6. Like so. Once I've done that, I'm going to start a sketch on the top of this circle. Using project geometry, just click the edge to make sure that we've got the center point. And I'm going to draw another circle at 36. And again, finish the sketch. And this time we are going to extrude it up 12. Like so. Now we're going to look at filletings, these to make them kind of run into each other. So we're going to click fillet. I'm going to change the distance to 14 and then I'm just going to click select that outer ring so that we've got this kind of shape here. Now we're going to move on to creating the kind of plate at the bottom. So I'm going to look at starting a sketch on the very bottom of this shape. So I'm going to flip it around so that I can see the bottom, and then I'm going to start a sketch here. First thing I'm going to do is create a rectangle. So I'm going to go to rectangle and make sure it says 2 point, and I'm going to select the center of the circle and I'm going to go up 26 and I'm going to go along 80. Like so. I am then going to use my line tool to draw a line from the bottom left of my rectangle along 60. So that I've got this kind of point here. Then using my circle tool, I'm going to draw a circle at 20. So I'm not going to click on the edge of my 60. Instead, I'm going to just move my mouse across so that I'm drawing it below it. It doesn't matter how far below it just now, but we don't want to click that green dot because otherwise it will kind of constrain it to that point. Instead, once we've got our circle at 20, I'm going to use the dimension tool to go from the edge of my 60 line to the center of my circle and make sure that that is 6. Now using the line tool, we're going to go from the side of my circle up until it hits my rectangle, like so. Using trim, we're going to just trim parts away of the circle and the rectangle so that we are left with this shape, like so. Once that's done, we're going to finish the sketch and we are going to look at extruding it 6. Now it's important that you extrude direction 2. Make sure that it's 6, so it's coming the same way, but that it's not extrude subtracting it. We want to add on material and then we're just going to press OK. And there we have the kind of plate at the bottom. Next, we're going to look at creating the little 2 circles on the kind of sides. So if we look at the drawn we've got these two circles that will eventually put the menu holder into it. And we can see that it has an extrusion height of 6, and that the kind of circles themselves, if we look at the orthographic view of the kind of boss, we can see that they have a radius of 6 and that they are kind of 18 apart, and then they've got this diameter of 6 in the middle. So we're going to look at, first of all, creating the bigger circle. So I'm going to start a sketch on the top. I'm going to project the geometry of this semicircle so that I've got the centre point, and I'm going to draw a circle at 12, like so, and finish the sketch. I am then going to look at extruding this up 6 millimeters, like that. Next, I'm going to draw the circle on the top of this at 6. So start a sketch on here. This time, project the geometry of the circle and draw a circle at 6. And this time we're going to extrude, subtract the circle down by 6. Now we're going to work on the back circle. So again, I'm going to start a sketch on the kind of plate. We project the geometry of the circle so that we get the centre point, and then I'm not going to click the centre point. Instead, I'm just going to drag it back and I'm going to draw a circle at 12. And using dimension, I'm going to click the centre point of my first circles to the centre point of my second circle and make sure that they're 18 apart, and then finish the sketch. And then once I've done that, I'm going to extrude it up 12. Like so. And then we can see that there is a blind hole at 12 millimeters deep, and that the hole again is 6. So I'm going to just start a sketch on here. Set it to 6, and then extrude, subtract it down 12. Like so. Now we need to turn on a work plane so that we can build the little parts that join the two kind of bosses together. So we're going to turn on a work plane and then kind of draw in this shape that joins them both together. So first thing we're going to do is offset the work plane. So we're going to, first of all, turn on a plane that runs just down the edge, like so. And then we're going to offset this plane back -20, so that we're in the centre. And then we're going to start a sketch on this plane. And again, if you press F7, it's going to half it for you, and it's going to make it a little bit easier to see. So now we're going to draw the shape that goes in between them. So we know that from the centre out it is 7. So again, I'm going to project the geometry of my lines to make things easier. And then I'm going to use the line so that the centre goes this way, 7. And again, from this side along 7. And then we're just going to join them together. So from the centre out and the centre, our angle, and then our 7 line. Now we want to join these up, but what we do want to make sure is that it kind of cuts inside these circles, because if we just draw around the kind of middle part, when we go to extrude it, it's going to have a gap. So I'm going to draw around it, but I'm just going to leave a kind of thickness inside the circle. So you can see that I've made this shape. I'm then going to finish the sketch and extrude it both directions And as per the drawing, we can see that it's 3 millimeters thick. I'm just going to change it to 3 and press OK. Like so. Now we still have to cut out the kind of top part of this here. So what we're going to look at doing is sketching on top of this circle. And we're going to draw a circle at 12. Like so. And then using extrude subtract, we're going to extrude it, subtract it down 6. And then we're going to chamfer at 6 as well. So change chamfer to 6 and then just select that circle so that we have this shape here. Now what we're going to look at doing is mirroring this onto the other side. So first of all, I'm just going to turn off the visibility of that plane that I used for the bosses. And instead we need to have a plane that's running down one of the edges. Now if you don't have one in the origin folder, you can use the plane menu to select the edges so that it will give you a plane. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use mirror, and it's important that you select every part that you have created. So all of the circles, anything on the inside, so that when you click the mirror plane, and then once it's mirrored, that is the part finished. So we can now go to File, Save As, and save it somewhere safe.